Hi, everyone, and welcome to Tarot and the Moons. My name is Ingrid. Now, let's get started. This offering is always focused on our emotions, and the moon, to me, is a field of manifestation and understanding through which we can anchor our sort of psychological, spiritual, and symbolic perspectives of the world as it is affecting our collective self awareness through these rhythms of the cycles of our emotions, which are, for me, a reflection of the cycles and the rhythms of the moon phases. So each moon phase is an opportunity for us to really gain or envision an approach to life in a way that takes us through the light field out of the darkness into an attainment of our own self discovery. So I think that whatever this is happening, and let me backtrack a little bit. Whatever is going on between this new moon and the next full moon, I think it's potent. And the reason why is because you've got two planetary rulerships, the way I see things, that are very alchemical in nature. So on the screen here on your video, you will see that I have the Vedic representation here of the Cancerian energy and the tropical representation of the Leo energy, because in Vedic astrology, they're telling us that the moon is actually in the astrological sign of Cancer, whereas the tropical Western astrologers are telling us that the moon is actually in the astrological sign of Leo. And for me, when it comes to our emotions, it can't be compartmentalized. And so I believe that our emotional frequency is actually swinging between the energetic frequencies of both the Cancerian archetype and the Leo archetype. This is a new moon, right? And for me, this is about the will to feel. And that's because Leo represents willpower and Cancer represents our feeling nature. So it's about our will to feel. We have been numbed by what's been going on in the world for reasons of exhaustion, for reasons of feeling defeated, that we feel that we cannot do anything. There's so many reasons why we have lost the will to feel. But with this new moon, boy, are we going to be feeling it, and we're going to want people to know our expression and what we're feeling. So that's really powerful, because as long as we do that, then our outer experiences will be reflecting our feelings. Um, and so anyway, so for me, we're going to be fluctuating between those emotions, emotions that are grounded and what we find familiar, our homeland and our traditions, with the emotions that are about the dependability and the perceptions others may have of our homeland, or what we feel comfortable in and what we feel familiar with. So this new moon is really asking us to concentrate our efforts on what we ultimately want in order to make us happy and content. In other words, it's asking us, what is it that we're doing to get into that space of joy through our feelings? If we stay true to our emotions, if we stay in the field that is lovable, and if we see that part of our ambition, part of our growth, part of what we desire is to stay constant to that frequency of love, then collectively, in my opinion, we're going to be able to move mountains here. We're going to be able to move obstacles that have been getting in our way. And this is a very powerful period of time with this new moon until the next full moon in August. I think it's August 9th. So when we're looking at these energies, the sun is actually the planetary rulership of Leo. And whenever we're speaking about the sun, we're actually speaking about the spirit that magnetizes humanity. That's where all of this creativity can come in through the human form. And the sun also speaks of the consciousness of the mind and of our ego. The moon, in contrast, speaks, and this is the moon that rules the Cancerian energies. The moon speaks to the soul of humanity and the instincts that sort of propels humanity forward, right? So we've got this spirit of humanity represented with Leo and the soul of humanity represented with Cancer coming in to alchemize. If you're watching this video, I'm already assuming that you know the power dynamics that's engaged when we speak of the sun and the moon as it pertains to an esoteric understanding that these two planetary forces, the ultimate creators of humanity's essence, really is all about alchemy because the male and the feminine forces are represented here by the sun and the moon. The sun, of course, is a representation of law and order, political leaders, presidents, father figures, the paternal figures, patriarchy, right? So the patriarchy is going to be at center stage somehow with this new moon. But we can also see that the matriarchy, the mother, the public masses, which represents the children of the earth, will also be playing a part in the center stage of this particular new moon because of the presence of the moon itself as a planetary influence to the astrological sign of Cancer. So this context, and I want you to understand that um, this particular moon is really a symbol of the ascent from the underworld. In other words, we're not going into the underworld. This feminine nature is coming out of the underworld, and I feel that she's going to be very potent, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that in the slide where we're going to discuss the tarot players. But I want you to understand that these um, energies of the ascent from the underworld gave me this image of 3 days of the dark moon um, being attributed to some sort of greater force of the mother rising, the feminine rising. And I don't exactly know how this is going to play out, but that's part of the message that I received during my meditation for this new moon. And the word that I received during my meditation was gratitude. So collectively, we're going to feel a sense of gratitude, a sense of an ascension from the underworld. I'm not sure if the patriarchy is going to feel that way, but certainly the matriarchy is. And with this Leo moon, we can expect that there be a very dramatic temper tantrum rising as a way of communicating with the people how we're all collectively feeling at the time. And it's really important for us to stay rational with our communication in this time period because in the mix of all of what's going on, our emotional energies are really susceptible to mixing reality with fantasy, and that's coming from that Cancer moon energy, okay? So really stay grounded and regulate your emotions. When I do the tarot for this new moon, I do focus on the astrological moon placements. Um, but and that's because the moon represent our emotions, but you can also look at your sun sign and your ascendant sign um when I do the readings and specifically the sun sign and see where you're headed. See what the trajectory is from your feeling nature to the sun sign And for me, the rising sign or the ascendant is how you're going to get there, okay? So, just one more thing as a gentle reminder, um, when you're dealing with the new moons, we are speaking about PowerPoints of our emotions during this moon phase. It's a celestial balancing of our emotions happening during the new moon. So it's pretty amazing right now. It's a pretty amazing time right now to set forth intentions that are not just about you, but about the collective, about humanity, to set forth this new vision, not only about yourself, but about the world and Earth. And how do you want to see that expansion? How do you want to see that field manifest? Okay. So I'm just putting that out there because new moons are very powerful, but this one in particular is alchemical. It is literally magic in the making. And when you have this kind of alchemy, it can easily remove obstacles that are getting in the way of us harnessing new energies. That's why I'm saying to look at it also from a collective perspective, because I think the more that we start engaging it from a collective perspective, that we want peace, that we want harmony, that we want to move forward, that we're willing and able and desiring to move forward in a world where we live well, in a world where we love a lot, and in a world where we can finally laugh and be joyful. That's the gift of the Leo energy that's bringing it forward. And the gift of the moon energy is that she's willing, able to clear what doesn't work for us anymore. All right, let's go on to the next slide where I'm going to be showing you the tarot players for this new moon. All right, so here we go. Who are the tarot players for this new moon? So remember with a new moon, oh, I love my selenite white wand. This was given to me by Frederic. Um, and yeah, thank you. So when we have a new moon, it looks like this. It's completely dark. You can't really see anything because the sun's not shining on it. In Vedic astrology, they're telling us that this new moon is actually in the sign of Cancer. And Cancer is all about this feeling nature. It's a dissolving water engagement. It's about the third eye center, right? It's like looking inside. This is all about this energy of the moon, the feeling, the feminine nature. Then in tropical astrology, they're telling us that the moon is actually in this transforming fire, willpower, I can, solar plexus, Leo energy ruled by the sun, right? So we've got water and sun energy coming into the mix. And this is very alchemical, right? Again, we spoke about this male energy and female energy. And we'll start with the Vedic astrologer's perspective of that new moon being in the sign of Cancer. And when we speak of Cancer, we are speaking of these two archetypal patterns. Um, the high priestess, and the chariot. Now, I want you to pay attention to this high priestess. I hope you can see it. Oh, and I forgot. This is, let me see if I could reach back here. The deck is called Black Tarot, an Ancestral Awakening deck and guidebook. Yeah, it's a great deck that I just finished using. So I'm going to continue and shout out to the Crimson Rose Oracles who are journeying with me. Oh my God, it's so much fun. I'm just learning so much. I always say that the students are actually my teachers, the participants are my teachers, and trust me, this whole entire group is filled with mastery. But what I wanted to share with this particular High Priestess is that you could see the pomegranates here. And in this story of the pomegranate, um, this really feels like the high priestess is coming out of hiding. And look at this chariot, right? It's a woman. So I feel that whatever is going on between this new moon and the full moon in August, we're going to see the rise of women to literally clear out the darkness, to literally just wash away what isn't serving us. And we're not going to do it in a forceful way. We're going to do it in a way that's more of this feminine chariot energy, which is power in presence. Power in presence. The high priestess here doesn't feel like she's hiding something other than the fruit of knowledge back here, but she's exposing that fruit of knowledge. So this is really a great deck to use for this particular new moon that I feel is really quite powerful. Now, traditionally speaking, when we do see this high priestess, we're talking about intuition, we're talking about inner knowing, we're talking about spirit guides, discovering our truth, revealing our truth. In the more challenging aspect, this is about the misuse of intuition, right? So we want to stay on its more positive engagement. It can also be about pride or prejudice or manipulativeness when we're speaking of the challenging aspects of the high priestess. And it can also be emotional control. Okay. Now, when we're speaking about this particular engagement of the chariot, like I said, this is not a chariot that's running forward in the traditional sense, but through presence can move mountains, right? So, traditionally speaking, when we see this engagement, we're speaking about victory, overcoming obstacles, willpower, control. You can see the control and the self-discipline in this particular stance, right? This is about mastery and courage, this card deck and the way that it's being presented. On its more challenging frequency, it can be lack of self-control, coercion, being blocked by obstacles. But again, this card deck really doesn't even lend itself to the negative frequencies, which is why I also love this particular deck. It feels very light to me. Um, and it's just an awesome representation. All right. So that is the tarot players for the Cancerian energies. It's all about feeling. Put those there. And then we're going into the Leo energy, which Western or tropical astrology is telling us that we are in this engagement ruled by the sun, Leo, right? And the tarot players here are the Strength card and the Sun card. Now, ordinarily, you would see the Strength card with a lion, but here you see a leopard. And the feminine is dancing with the leopard, but I don't know if you could see it. It's third eye to third eye. There's a synergy there that's happening between the wild and the feminine nature. And of course, I love the illustration of the roses in the background. So this is very powerful, very alchemical. This is telling us that there's going to be strength. Again, I feel the strength with women and the power of the divine feminine coming through. Now we see the sun card here, and this is actually how in my deck, I always see the sun as this very intimate engagement because it signifies the power of love, the power to bring people together at the table, right? At the table. So there's going to be here some sort of unification with what we've thought was the wild, right? We might actually be eye to eye in an engagement where we're both on the same page to bring about this love, this connection, this bringing people at peace to the table. Now, this is just this representation of the Strength card and the Sun card. In the traditional sense, when we do see this 8 vibration, the Strength card, we are speaking about inner strength. We're speaking about courage. We're speaking about bravery, confidence, compassion, harnessing our instinctual desires, right? On the challenging side, we are speaking about vulnerability. We're speaking about self-doubt, low self-esteem, sometimes even being bullied. On the positive side, traditionally speaking, this is positivity. This is freedom, fun, confidence, good luck, enthusiasm. On the challenging side, this can be oppression. This can be issues with abortion, even, or miscarriages of justice, in a sense, right? So keep those in mind when I pull your cards in the reading. I think I will be doing, I'll be adding an oracle, a deck to the reading, but I'm going to gravitate towards one of these tarot players, all right, when I do your readings. Okay, so that's it. Let's go on to the next slide. All right, here we go. I am using the Legendary Ladies Goddess deck as an oracle because we had such a strong presence with the feminine energy of the Black Tarot. And I'm using my own Arcancia Tarot deck. And just a gentle reminder, emotionally, the whole point of this offering is that we know emotionally where we're going to be triggered and how we're going to be triggered both individually and collectively, right? So on that scale of the new moon, and speaking of moons, our emotions, in my opinion, are swinging between Cancer, ruled by the moon, and Leo, ruled by the sun. So our emotions are swinging between these two axis points. All right. We're going to do our reading. We're going to begin with the Leo moon. And again, you can look at your ascendant, you can look at your sun sign. In this particular case, I would really look at your sun sign because we're dealing with the sun in Leo. So I'm going to start with Leo, work my way around, and end with Cancer. All right, here we go. Let's see, Leo babies, what do we have here? Wow, amazing. Seven of Wands. This is about your belief system. And then we have Kuan Yin, and this is about compassion. So when I read these two together, oh, for me, the compassion part is the Sun card here. When I'm looking at this, there is this passion, this flame within you that perhaps you've been a little too harsh on yourself about. And Kuan Yin, this energy of compassion, is asking you to embrace the challenges and really ground yourself in this element, not element, this virtue of faith. And for me, it is a virtue to have faith because I encounter so many people that simply don't have faith. They don't even know what that means. But in this context, it means having compassion toward you, yourself, and those involved in this creative pursuit that you've been trying to sort of launch or trying to sort of engage others with, right? And for me, it's really about changing your perspective and your belief and knowing that others can support you so long as you have compassion for yourself and others in the process of creating something that feels quite miraculous and unexpected. Beautiful. Next reading we have, oops, the Virgo babies. And of course, you guys know I pre-shuffle this and I put it down because otherwise it'll make the video even longer. So let's see, but I don't look at it. Transcendence and confidence, right? So this, I mean, I know you already just literally just had the chariot here, but that word confidence is really pulling me towards this chariot energy. So there's something in in you that, and this is the Yao Laurel Kin, I can never pronounce that name. But she's a sea mermaid creature. So what are we transcending here? Our emotions. How are we doing it? We're doing it by being confident, by showing people that we actually have stepped into the space of believing in yourself again. And it's moving really fast. It's moving really quickly, this transformation, this transcendence that you're going through, because you finally figured out that movement has nothing to do from one location to the other. It has to do with an inner movement, an inner confidence, and an inner power that this new moon is going to reintroduce you to. Awesome. And it goes deep because it is emotional. The transcendence is from the emotional waters. By the way, guys, when I pull these goddesses, feel free to do your own deep dive and explore a little bit more about the goddess that appears for you in your reading. You might get a little bit more information and some gems that you need. So the next card that we have is the Libra babies, and we have Newt, Resurrection, and we have Creative Spark. For me, this feels like love. This feels like love in the traditional sense. This feels like a resurrection of a new relationship, or a relationship that you've been wanting or desiring to sort of manifest in your world. This new moon is going to deliver that. It's going to resurrect that because you've done the work. You've actually done the deep dive and the work, and you are ready to engage the energy of love. And also, the sun is shining on you with whatever new endeavors you have that perhaps in the past you've set aside, but now it's wanting to be resurrected in a new way, and it's going to be received by many. Next, we have Scorpio babies. Put it like this. We have determination, Pele. And we have conquered with kindness. So oftentimes people don't associate Pele with, and obviously I'm being drawn to the strength card here for a second, but people don't associate Pele with conquering with kindness, but rather with a level of force where she burns everything in her path in order to regenerate something, right? But there's a different type of determination that's being introduced here for those of you with a Scorpio sun, moon, or rising, and that is the determination that's conquered with not only levels of kindness, but levels of synergy here. Remember what I said about this leopard and sorry, not the leopard, the panther, and the dance and the connection here with meeting eye to eye. But the meeting of the eye to eye is the third eye to third eye, quelling the rage, quelling the anger, quelling that which actually can be quite explosive and dangerous, right? There's that a different type of strength that Pele is introducing you to, and it requires a determination of the mind. This is why we have this this Princess of Swords here. It's a determination that's conquered through the mind, not in the physical way. And again, that's reiterated here with the eye to eye to third eye engagement, right? In that headspace, in the crown chakra. Be kind to yourself, exhibit your strength, let them know you have the power, but your determination and what you seek is going to be done through a different level. I would even say quantum level. Oops, this back here. Pele. And next we have Sagittarius babies, Sun, Moon, or Rising. What we have here for you, Parvati, spirit. Parvati is part of my the origin story of my company, Arc Larimar. And stability. This is another faith card. We've gotten a couple of faith card belief systems here so far. So collectively, we have to start believing again in our own inner power, in our own inner spirit to conquer, right? To conquer. Um, let's put this here. It's moving. There you go. And my eyes are being drawn to the high priestess here because this particular high priestess does feel like a spirit energy. She is floating. She's not holding a book of knowledge. She's not holding anything secret. She's actually allowing spirit to float up. And this energy up here is allowing the spirit to flow up because she has faith. And Parvati is the energy of love. So for me, those of you with Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, these two energies are teaching you how to have faith. Can you see love? Can you see spirit? No, but you believe it's there. And it's a delicate engagement when we are seeking to analyze everything and intellectualize things that cannot be intellectualized or analyzed from the head space. It has to be dropped down from the heart space in order to truly, truly acquire the wisdom, right, that you need, signified there by the pomegranates. Beautiful. Next we have Capricorn babies, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Oshun, forgiveness. Then we've got recognition. Wow, beautiful, beautiful. I'm being drawn to the sun card here. Obviously, we have sunflowers. She's all in yellow, sun, bright. This is the energy that I'm getting for those of you with Capricorn, sun, moon, or rising. And then we've got this sixth energy, which is recognition. For me, it really feels like an accomplishment of some sort. You've actually forgiven. You've actually passed through the threshold that you needed to pass through in order to be in that space of peace and tranquility that you've been craving for several years now. And this is because you did the work. You did the self-nurturing work. First, you recognized yourself and your accomplishments, and then you shared it with others through this energy of forgiveness. You may have even taught others how to forgive in the process. Beautiful. Next, we have Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. We have Mahat, justice. Wow. Beyond expectations. Wow. 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 For me, again, I'm being drawn to that sun energy, and we even see this background of the sun energy, and it's just like this feeling of also the sun, the 10 of Pentacles is about the happy family, happy engagement, happy relationships. You finally got justice because you've been sort of walking a very delicate line of always pulling yourself back to your heart center and weighing your heart and your love and your capacity to love against that light feather. And in so doing, you've created peace. And when it comes to your business, because on the body level, you've literally sort of manifested this field of peace around you, then on the physical plane, there is this beyond expectation, beyond what you could imagine, literally unraveling for you when it comes to your business endeavor or money endeavors or even issues regarding family and health. Beautiful. And of course, justice is about balancing, and it's about making sure that the feminine aspect and the masculine aspect, again, going back to this sun image, is balanced here. Next, we have Piscean energy. We have, ooh, a little bit of secrets here, unlocking secrets in ascension. Beautiful. I'm being drawn to the high priestess, right? Oops. Because of the energy of the secret. Generally, when we see the high priestess, there's this energy of mystery, of things not being fully revealed. Even in this sense, even though we see the pomegranates in the back, it's not fully revealed. It's not being fully shown. And there's something here having to do with the communication and even an agreement that you have with someone else or a group of people or a group of individuals that they are really thinking about this new project that includes you. And it does have to do with spirituality. It does have to do with a sacred engagement here. So I would really sort of keep that in the forefront of your thoughts. Like what's really going on here is an unlocking of a different dimensional experience for you. So keep an open mind as all of this sort of firecracker stuff is happening on the background, and you can even feel it on the dress of Mayu. There is here an ascension for you. There might even be talks about you getting a promotion of some sort. Beautiful. Next we have Aries, sun, moon, or rising, and we've got the muses, inspiration and discernment. This is the hanged man. Beautiful energy here to look at things differently. I am being drawn here to the strength card to look at things differently, to really be open to receiving gifts from the other side, gifts from what you cannot see, gifts from the universe, if you will. And this is something also that this panther is giving and gracing this dancer with. It's a gift of a different sight, a different way of seeing the world. Whatever is happening for you, Aries, sun, moon, or rising, it's going to happen very quickly, okay? Don't uh, doubt yourself, but do be discerning because the inspiration is going to be flooding into you. And it's okay to experiment and see what unfolds. Next, we have Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising babies. Oh, inner beauty, accomplishments. Oh, I love this. I'm being drawn to the chariot here for some reason. Because I do feel this card is just so beautiful. And there's an inner beauty in her that again it's what allows her presence, it's what allows her to accomplish so many things, right? So many things. And she's doing it not from some sort of outer power, but rather inner power. And that inner power has to do with her inner beauty and her ability to accomplish and be recognized for her creative endeavors. Wow. And people are looking at you. People are looking at you. People are observing that inner power, that inner beauty that you have, and they can see all of your accomplishments and they're ready. It feels like they're ready to engage with you to see what else can be accomplished, right? With you at the forefront of this centered energy. Awesome. Next we have Gemini baby, sun, moon, or rising. We've got hope and we've got Allah, mortality. This is really sort of powerful for me because hope and more morality. Sorry, I said mortality. That's interesting. Moral, and that's because we're dealing with the death card of the Crimson Rose Tarot journey. So I think I was thinking about the death card here, but I actually was thinking about there's this energy of death. There's this energy of I'm bringing forward the High Priestess. There's this energy of I have to function from the space of morality no matter what, whether I can see it or not. I'm going to function from that space. And you're ready to land a new idea. You're ready to put down some of the ideas that really is here to assist others in thinking about the global unity, the global perspective. But there are things that you still cannot see. For example, you see her wrapped with the snake, right? On that. So there's this kundalini that's rising, but it hasn't yet hit her crown chakra space yet. So I would say keep the hope alive as you continue to function from that space of morality, but know that there are things that are not yet revealed to you. Okay? Oh, sorry about that. Cancer baby, sun, moon, or rising. We've got Stargazer, and this is the Princess of Cups, along with creative luck. Anytime you see creative, you know you got to pull the Sun card, right? Because the Sun card is all about creativity. It's all about the inner child work. It's all about this youth energy that's here to sort of see the world and also be seen. So when we have this creative luck, there's like dancing here that's available to you. And again, we see this snake engagement, this kundalini energy kind of wrapped around. And the stargazer, again, is all about not losing sight of the star, not losing sight of the sun's energy, not losing sight of the miraculous that's out there. And that engagement with what's unseen, with what you cannot see, is really the power of luck because it involves faith. Great. Awesome. Wow. This was really amazing. I love this energy that I'm feeling for this new moon where there's this feminine empowerment um, with creativity, with morality, with bringing in that inner beauty, inspiring others, being at the forefront of ascension, seeking the cosmic justice, being able to forgive, being in that spirit of determination to make things right, to resurrect what has been falling apart and to transcend oneself into this space of compassion, right? Of compassion. Wow. Women lead. Let's go. Let's go. Happy new moon. I'm putting this up on Monday, the 21st. And the new moon for us in the United States is on Thursday, the 24th. I like to put these videos out around the time of the actual either new moon or full moon engagement because when you put it out like a month ahead of time, people just forget. They'll watch the video and they just forget. So this is the week of the new moon. So we're already, feeling up that energy and ramping up to the new moon. All right? So everyone stay safe, regulate your emotions, and make sure that you set forth intentions that include the collective. All right? Love you all. Bye.